G'day guys, Socket here. In today's video I'm going to take you through the equipment that I have in my car audio tuning toolbox, the microphone, the audio interface, the cables and things that I use when I'm doing what we call an analog mic sweep measurement for car audio tuning. Now you might be saying, Socket, what the hell is an analog mic sweep? Well, there are two basic techniques that I have on the Socket Car Audio Tuning channel. One is called the moving mic method, where you take a microphone and you wave it around your head and you play pink noise and you take your measurements of your speakers that way. And the other way is the analog mic sweep, where we take the microphone, we have it in a fixed position at the headrest of the driver's seat. We sit outside the car and we play a sweep tone through the speakers and take the measurement that way. Now, they are two different ways of doing tuning. They use two different types of signal and two different types of equipment. Now, a lot of people start off doing the moving mic sweep the moving mic method because it's easy to get into. You just need a microphone and some pink noise. But the problem with that is the method relies on, it's actually quite an advanced method, because it relies on you having a very consistent technique to take measurements, get accurate measurements. And then secondly, it requires the use of listening and using your ears to hear things like when things are centered, or when speakers are summing up, or when speakers are in or out of polarity. And so if you're just starting off in car audio, and often you haven't done a lot of tuning and you don't know what those things to listen for, it can be quite a difficult way of getting your car dialed in. So I always recommend that if you're just starting off in tuning, the easier method to use is the analog sweep method. And the reason for that is because you don't need any special technique to take the measurements, because the microphone is in a fixed position at the headrest. And using the sweep signal instead of pink noise means that we also get phase, impulse and distortion information, which we can then use to do time alignment and phase alignment and other things. And we don't need to know those those audio cues like you do when you're doing pink noise. So it's much easier to use the phase and impulse information and just line them up on the graphs to get things like your time alignment done. So that's why it's a easier technique to use if you're just beginning, because it doesn't require that skill and experience. And after you've done a few tunes and you know what to listen for, then you can always go back and learn to do the moving mic method with pink noise. So I'm helping out Scott, who's recently joined the Patreon channel, and I'm teaching him how to do his own tune in his pickup. And we were talking about this the other day, and he's decided to take my advice and start with the analog sweep method. And so I said to him I would make a video for him explaining the equipment that I use to do these measurements. And I thought this is great because there'll be other people on the channel that might be interested in this information as well. So enough of an introduction, let's dive on in. Hey guys, Socket here. So today we're going to have a look at the equipment that you need to do the analog microphone sweeps. Well, at least this is the equipment and cables and things that I have for my analog sweep kits. Now, there are lots of different audio interfaces, lots of different XLR microphones, but these are the ones I use. If you want to buy the same stuff, that's fine. I'll put some additional information up as we go along. So basically, the kit's made up of your laptop, an audio interface, which is over here, the XLR microphone, and 4 cables. None of it's particularly expensive, but yeah, that's what you kind of need for the analog mic sweeps. So I'm going to go through each of them in turn and then show you how to connect them all up. So let's get rid of the laptop. We don't really need that. I think everyone's kind of got one of those, and we'll move on to the audio interface. So the audio interface sits in between your laptop and the DSP, and it basically provides the timing reference so that you can measure the time delay between the sweep signal and how long it takes to hit the microphone, so you can get distance measurements and things like that. So I use this 4-input Behringer. Bring the box over very quickly. You can see the actual model name. So it's the Behringer Euphoria UMC 404 HD. 404 because it's got 4 ports. You don't need 4 ports. There's a 202 version that only has 2 ports. So to do analog sweeps, you need a minimum of 2 input ports, one for the mic and one for the loopback cable. Yeah, so if you want to save a bit of money, go with the UMC 202 HD and not the 404. Yeah, as I said, there are lots of different audio interfaces. I find this works well and it's pretty cheap. There are others, other popular brands which are cheaper. I find that people have a lot of problems with them. So this is the brand that I would recommend. As I said, go with the 202, not the 404. It's a bit of overkill. And of course, I have a tutorial video on the channel explaining, what all the buttons and things do, and how to set it all up. Okay, what comes with the audio interface is a power cable, just to plug in the back, so you've got power to the unit, and then a cable that connects up the audio interface to your laptop, and it has this, squarey thing on the back. I'll show you how to hook that up now, because it's all pretty simple. So here on the back of the audio interface is the power port and the USB port. So yeah, we just plug them into there. Okay, with those two plugged in, you've got your power cord that goes off to a power point somewhere, and then of course the other end of this USB cable goes into your laptop. Pretty simple. Right, so we'll come back to the audio interface in a few minutes. Next, I just want to talk about the cables. Okay, so there are 4 cables that you're going to need. The first one is just an XLR cable, a male to female 3 pin. You want that long enough to be able to run from the audio interface to the microphone's position. I think this is a 3-meter cable. So what's going to happen is that's going to plug into the back of your microphone and then run to one of the inputs on the front of your audio interface. So I'll show you that a bit later. The second cable we're going to need is what we call a Y splitter cable. So this takes the signal from the audio analyzer and splits it into 2, hence the name. So this is a 1/4-inch male to dual 1/4-inch female plugs. This is a stereo plug, so you want it in stereo, and it's stereo because you can see it's got two black stripes on it. So that's, as I said, going to plug into the back of the audio interface and split the signal. One will go back to the audio interface to provide a timing reference, and one other signal will go to your DSP. So we've got the identical signal going to the DSP and back to the audio interface. Right? So that's the Y splitter cable. We then need another male to male 1/4-inch cable, often called a guitar plug or guitar cable. This is a mono male to male. We don't need, you probably use a stereo. I don't know whether it works or not. It should, but I just happen to use a mono cable. Once again, it needs to be long enough to go from the Y splitter cable back to the front of the audio interface. I think this is a 2-meter cable from memory, something like that. It's not very long. So that's the 1/4-inch male to male. And then finally we need a we're going to need a cable that's going to run from the splitter cable to the DSP. So this will be a 1/4 inch mono, can I get that in focus? 1/4 inch mono male plug to dual RCAs, male RCAs. And so that'll these plugs will plug into your RCA inputs on your DSP, and this end will go into the splitter cable, right? And yeah, I think this is maybe a 6-meter cable. It's got to run all the way from where you're doing your measurements, all the way through the back of your car to wherever your DSP is, right? So that's why it's so long. So just the 4 cables. I'll put up some extra detail about those, like screenshots from Amazon or wherever I purchased these from. So none of this is particularly expensive, right? All right, so I'm going to hook all these cables up. Actually, no, I'll start with the Y splitter cable. I'll explain it, how to hook them up as we go along. Okay, so first of all, we hook the Y splitter cable, the male plug, into the left output on the back of the audio interface. And yeah, we're just got the signal split. We'll go from the laptop to the audio interface. Sweep signal will go through here, and we'll have that signal split into 2 identical versions of the signal. All right, so next we're going to connect up the cable that will then carry signal to the DSP. All right, so once again, pretty simple, just the 1/4 inch male into one of the female 1/4 inch splitters, and that's going to then send the signal down this cable, and you'll be able to plug this into channels A and B on your DSP. So remove the RCAs you've got, plug those in instead, and yeah, there we go. We've got a left and right signal from the laptop or the sweep going into the DSP via that cable. Right, next is what we call the loopback cable. So we're going to take that 1/4 inch male to male cable, the mono one, plug it into one of the 1/4 inch female on the splitter cables, and run it all the way to the front to and plug it into one of your inputs. Now, because I'm using a 4-channel, I often plug it into number 4, but if you've got the 2-channel, then just plug it into number 2 like that. Now, why is it called a loop back? Because we've got the sweep signal coming from the laptop through the audio interface. The signal's being split into 2. One is going off to the DSP so it can be played through the speakers and be recorded by the mic, and the other one loops back to the audio interface and provides a time zero or a timing reference so that REW, when it gets the information from the microphone, can actually calculate the impulse and phase information from the speakers. Okay, the microphone that I use is called a Superlux ECM 999. It's a pretty cheap XLR microphone. A USB mic won't work with this because the USB mic have their own clock cycles and things like that, so they're good for doing moving mic pink noise, but not good for analog sweeps. So you can tell an XLR mic because it's got 3 pins at the back, which, you know, we're going to connect our 3-pin cable up like this in a minute. You can pick this this particular model up from Amazon for, you know, 50 to 100 bucks US. Some places sell it cheaper, some places are more expensive, but you know, this is the one I use. You don't have to use this one, but be careful. Don't use an XLR microphone that's made for recording vocals, you know, that people will use for singing or something like that, because they will have chips and things in them that potentially distort the sound. So you want an XLR measurement microphone, and yeah, this works pretty well. Okay, next we connect up the microphone to the audio interface using the XLR cable Now the microphone is going to be located or positioned on your headrest at the driver's seat so that you're able to take the measurements. But we basically plug the XLR cable to the back of the microphone and then the other end of the XLR cable into input 1 on the audio analyzer. And yeah, that's everything connected up. Okay, so now we have everything kind of hooked up. We've got the laptop, which will generate the sweep signal. That's going to run into the audio interface. The signal is then going to get split into two through the splitter cable. One's going to go off to your DSP. One is going to loop back to the front of your audio interface and provide a time zero reference. The signal is going through the DSP is going to go through the DSP, through your wiring in your car, to the speaker. The speaker will play the sweep signal. It'll move through the air. It'll get picked up by the microphone. And the information will go back down to the cable to the audio interface. And and then all of that's going to go back down the USB cable to the laptop to REW. And REW is going to use the difference between the loopback and the microphone recording to work out how far the speaker is away from the microphone and all the phase and impulse and distortion information, right, that the sweep allows REW to measure. So guys, that's the way, or that's the equipment that you need for the analog sweeps. As I said, I'll put up some clips of the Amazon website or wherever I bought these things from, so you can see the descriptor that you might be looking for. Make sure you buy cables that are long enough to reach. They usually get sold in 3 foot or 6 foot or 12 foot lengths or whatever. And take care to pick the right male-female combinations of plugs, and ideally the right stereo or mono cables, right? So as I said, this is the combo that works for me. This is what I use when I'm doing all the tutorials and things. It's the exact same equipment that I just have in my tuning kit. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, as always, pop them down below. I'd be happy to answer them. So there you go, guys. That brings us to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you found that interesting, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and I will catch you in the next episode.